We good? We ready?
Yeah, man, I was born ready.
Okay. Welcome back. This is Team Berserk Talk number 4, and we're going to be talking about basically us leading into set 14 here. Then all the cards mostly have been announced. I don't think there was any secret cards left. We got all the secret rares, SRs, SPRs even. We got to see the alternate arts, and just kind of how this meta is going to be with this post-ban list. And I think the last time that we posted a video was the ban list reaction, so kind of got that all cemented down, knowing what decks have been hit and whatnot. But Nick, let's start it off. What do you got to say about set 14?
I want to just circle back and say, unfortunately, all the viewers missed our conversation about how Frieza clans are gendered, but I'm really excited to talk about set 14 as well.
That works too.
It's true. We really don't know. They haven't specified.
They could be like an alien race that like reproduces off of other races. That I've heard that theory, where they take like DNA and they're just all one gender and they reproduce with other like.
Namekians spawn eggs, bro. It's it's a wild universe.
True,
it certainly is.
Speaking of Namekians,
no Namekian decks again.
Yeah. Just a red skillless Piccolo. That's all we get. But all right, Nick, who do you think is the best leader and deck archetype coming out of set 14? Obviously, in set only. Yep.
I mean, what I personally like, I think it's going to be Videl. I think that'll be a very. I think anyone who hasn't tested around with it a good bunch won't really respect it a whole lot, and that's fine. I mean, people didn't understand what Launch could do when it came out. It's definitely very different than Launch, but at the same time, it's kind of like Green Launch too.
And for people who don't know, there's a really interesting interaction with there's a Chi Lai promo that came out this tournament back, and it's a play it, draw a card, and then if your leader's a heroine, the skills are negated for the game. So you can play that draw, swing with your leader, combo it, and then your leader says when you combo with the skillless card, you draw. So what's interesting is normally when cards change areas, they lose whatever traits they've had. They're treated as new cards. But when they go from the battle area to the combo area specifically, they're not treated as new cards. So your Chi Lai is still treated as a skillless card, and you can draw for comboing with it. And I think that's a really cool like draw to interaction. And then if you have a dispo in the drop or whatever, you can warp it and play it again. There's definitely a lot of cool stuff going on with that deck.
And optionally, you can cut life when you do that on the front side too.
Yeah, so. Being a self-awakened green leader, huge.
Yeah.
Look at how good King Cold was, like the first green leader with built-in good self-awakening, and he's the best green deck, right? That's
hell yeah.
Yeah, I think she'll be better in best of 1 than best of 3. Luckily, we're in a best of 1 format for the time being, so we'll see how that kind of shapes. But I don't know. I've also just been stuck in this best of 1 format in Canada for so long that I'm forgetting what best of 3 is.
I don't want to go back now. I'm so used to building terrible decks with these wild cards that are only good in like specific matchups that I'm main decking. Like
you're just forced to put these crappy options into your main deck.
I'm playing a red leader. I have no hard removal. Guess I'm main decking 2 max power Kamehameha, right? Like, but Lucas, what about you? Best deck.
Best deck, or the deck that I just like the most because I like weird stuff. But
either or, man.
Either or.
Dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. I would. I don't think it's the best, but I think the Black Sin Shenron, like the Xeno Sin Shenron, just seems like a pretty decent version of Mill. It's weird. That's why I like it. And I don't know that. Like Nick and I were going off of that. I believe it's an SR extra card, the one that counterplays Unisons. Yeah, that one seemed pretty deadly, removing markers off depending on how many cards they have in their drop and warp, which that's what you're doing. You're filling up their drop and warp with your cards. But for another deck that I'm like, I don't think will be as good, but has potential, is the Super 17. I don't know. I just think with seeing like playtesting of it and stuff with Jaudat and stuff like that deck can go off and do some shenanigans. But do I think anything's ridiculous in the new set coming up? No.
So on Super 17, I just hate that it's like a stall player's like a slow player's dream. Like imagine the whole okay, I'm gonna drop 2 cards, search top 7, grab 2 cards, play a 1-drop, Union Absorb, grab cards from the drop, put them underneath, play the other card on top, draw 1, and it's like you just spent 5 minutes and played 3 cards to draw 1. Like the last, that's I just that tells me it's like just a super convoluted way to do something every other deck does for free. I kind of agree with you on with Xenosin. I love the art. I love the way everything you play replaces itself. It seems like a really cool and fun and like interactive version of Mill, which is nice for a change. But I don't think with what we have in this set, I don't think it's there. I think it's going to take 2 or 3 sets to support.
Just like Sin before.
I think they said next set it'll be completed for the Sin.
That would make sense though, because they did cover a lot of the dragons in this one. Like they did 3 or something all in this set, 3 or 4 of them all in this set.
Yeah, I think also for the black cards, there's only one leader. There's only the Sin Shenron leader, so I think they just focused on Sin Shenron for this rather than dragging it out for 3 different sets. I think they'll complete it in 2.
I swear I saw it somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but I swear from somewhere official they are something about that was covered, but I can't remember where.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't think of what dragons they left out. They have
Ice and Nova.
Ice and Nova, yeah. I think those literally might be the only 2. Because there's Oceanus is the SR. There's obviously a bunch of Sin cards. There's Haze cards. There are
the Mole.
Yeah, Mole Man. I don't even remember. Natron.
Yeah, Natron.
Natron, which I really like his ability, stealing a card from your opponent's drop area and gaining their skills. I think that's one of the coolest cards. Is it going to be that useful? Probably not, but just a cool interaction.
And that's what I love about this card game is the theme stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does in the show, and it sucks in the show, and it's going to suck in the card game.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Now there's one dragon I'm missing. Because it should be 7. We did Nova Ice.
Rage.
Yeah, there was no Rage. I don't think there was a Rage.
Haze, Oceanus,
so it's 3 missing.
They only got
So Rage, Nova, and Ice are missing.
Yeah, okay. So those 3. So yeah, I guess that would be in the newer set because they also released. Yeah, I know. So it is only 1 leader, but they did do 2 unisons. That Bardock unison, which everyone seems to be enjoying, being a specified 2 cost black unison. So now you can actually use that EX card. I forget the one with Salsa on it, right?
Yeah, Dance of the Demon God. I have them right here. Yeah. They're like these are. I have these like these are gonna go in a deck because they're low key awesome.
Yeah.
I just need to find what deck I'm putting them in.
I think they're amazing side deck cards, but again, without it being best of 3, it's so hard to put them in.
You mean their main deck cards?
Yep.
Well, I don't know if enough value's there to be able to like main deck against some of that stuff. Like if you go against like a non-black deck, it's just like this is never getting value.
Can't charge it. Can't that. This is best of 1 life. You can't charge it. Can't do anything with it. Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm interested to see for the Shenron archetype what they're gonna do for Omega because they haven't released any of the Omega cards for the black.
I think isn't the promo in Omega the one that's like a draw 1 discard 1 or something? I could be wrong. You know what? Don't quote me on it.
There'll probably be quite a few Omega Shenrons.
I mean, there's a secret. Isn't the secret rare Omega? No, it's Xenosin.
Yep.
I'm wrong. As usual.
Which I still don't know why Sin, like they have so many Sin cards. No one cares about Sin until he becomes Omega.
He's Sin for like 30 minutes.
No, yeah, and that's 30 minutes in a Dragon Ball episode. That's a long time.
No, that's over the season.
That's charging up some key.
Yeah, that's like long time meant the exact opposite. Very short time.
Jay, what deck are you looking at?
I'm gonna sigh because Lucas already talked about Sin. I love Sin
I beat you
for
to
whatever
it.
reason. But if I had to pick another one,
So
I don't like blue. I
Go
don't
with
like
the low
playing
hanging.
blue.
Go with the low hanging fruit. It's a
No.
starter deck,
Not
and
deck
it's
you're-
red.
Not deck you're most excited for. You can talk about deck you're most excited for. I want to know what you think is going to be the best deck coming out of the next set.
The best deck.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or the most playable. The least
What?
bad.
The most playable. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say Videl or Super 17 are gonna be the most playable. I know they're already talked about. I know Nick's covered it.
Your Armando's face there just looks like a disappointed father.
Because you're also
He threw the baseball at you as the perfect pass, and you're just like, "Hey, a butterfly."
There's
So-
only one black leader, really.
because you guys are all wrong. Okay. I think Majin Buu is going to be the best deck because it has the most playable card in the new set, which is the Buu Topo. That's the best card in the set. He's like a skinny Majin Buu. Same thing as Topo. You negate. You drop a card, play him. If you play him, your opponent can't swing unless they drop 2 cards for the turn. And he has a Union Absorb skill that synergizes with the leader. The other thing is, I think Boo has one of the best unisons. I will say, I think Super 17 has the best unison. That Miyu and Dr. Giro one. That's a really good card, and I think that'll be good for Spirit Boost. So, in my mind, the most competitive deck coming out of the new set is probably Majin Buu. I think, like you said, the starter deck is also really good. I'm hearing a lot of buzz about Gohan and Jiren. I really like Jiren, and I'm going to play Jiren when it comes out, but I don't think they'll be the tier 1 decks, only because you need to interact with your opponent to draw. So if I'm playing Gohan and I sit down across from Baby, I'm like, all right, game's over, because I'm never going to be able to combo. I'm never going to get to draw. He's going to just swing at my unison every time I play it. It doesn't matter. So unfortunately, I think the most playable deck in terms of competing in the meta is going to be Majin Buu. I do think Videl has the opportunity to be cute, just because the fact you can swing and draw without comboing, so you don't have to give your opponent life, and you're a green leader that can self-awaken. I think that gives you a lot of options. Also, being a heroine, there's going to be future heroine support that'll make her good. But yeah, to me, best deck is probably Buu. After Buu, I'd probably say it's U7 Gohan. And then, unfortunately, I think both the blue decks were a huge misfire. I appreciate you can do a lot with that Baby Trunks deck, but I'm not about to pay energy and spirit boosts for all my stuff when I can play decks that play stuff for free constantly. Or you can't look me in the eye and tell me that Trunks is a better leader than Soul Striker.
Nope.
You can't. I'll just run everything you're going to run, but in Soul Striker, so it's better. So that was kind of my thoughts there. Anybody disagree with me on the Buu thing? I love the Bobbity Unison too. The fact that it has a super janky, give something servant and then it gains Overlord. I love that. But anybody else had thoughts on? You're allowed to disagree with me. You can be wrong, but it's Majin Buu.
I think the Majin Buu deck is going to be popular just because it's Majin Buu. I don't think it's necessarily going to be as good as everyone thinks it's going to be. I flat out think Videl is going to be better.
Well, we know what video we're recording when the set drops. Then it's going to be Videl versus Majin Buu. That's number 1. But
Let's fucking do it. Game on, brother.
Okay. One thing we didn't get to talk about before is the secret rares coming out of the set. So we're going to toss it over to Lucas to tell you what his favorite of the secret rares coming in is any, if any.
Well, I can do an order here.
Okay, by the way, I have the exact same line ready for whatever one you say. But go ahead.
In last place, Boo.
Trash, unplayable. Next.
There we go. Second place. Which one I'd like more? See, these two are the ones that I'd actually go for. The yellow one, I'd probably go second. I think that one is the more playable out of the three, being
Trash. It's
Bloodlust
a
on
worse
turn
full
3.
bloodlust.
Yeah, but it's also, you have 2 cold Bloodlusts in Mecha Frieza.
That's true. That is true.
So that amazing, and it's 40k deflect, and what else? It takes a card too. I think that's pretty.
Cell Zeno got wrecked. So that's another point that yellow secret rare has.
See, so that yellow one, it's like if I'm gonna play yellow, I probably want to run that. Unless Sin Control, obviously, you're gonna get to turn 5, so you can go sell Xeno that way. But even so, making something not have skills return and eating something is really good. But number one, I gotta go Frieza and Goku just because the fact of a collector
card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, collector card. So I need to get that early before that goes to Apex prices. And I know it doesn't have the Victory Strike tag, but like, come on, you definitely can make a fun deck. Like, fun deck to you, hell to everyone else, either Bulma or like Frieza Prison with that thing. You go with the Piccolo Jr. Unison, play Pan, give him Double Strike. Strategies of Universe 7 just for fun, even though he can't be removed by skills, but he can be minused, so I don't know. I think that one's number one for me. Purely the art, the moment. I kind of wish he was in like the like base form Super Saiyan when they're like pushing him out the cliff where he can't even turn Super Saiyan anymore, because there's a card in Heroes, I believe, that has that looks slightly better. His hair's standing up like Super Saiyan, but it's still black, and he's got like an aura around him. It looks really cool. Then I go, and hero cards do look ridiculously cool too. But that's probably number one.
Lucas has got third is Boo, second is 17, first is Goku Frieza. Nick, what's your ranking?
Well, here's the thing on it. Because technically right now, the Boo can have 2 unisons. We're waiting on that being updated. If you can have 2, then I think it's the best one. If you can't, then I think the card's unplayable. Because in green, to lose your unison for something that's off color, you can't even do your... You can't even do any of your stuff after that. You'd have to replay your unison. I think that would just be trash tier. So whichever way they do it, it's either broken or useless, that card.
So I have a counter argument to what I'm going to say to you, but this is what I hear people saying a lot. But it stops attacks for the turn, and it can steal a unison. It's like Baby Hatch, but in green.
For 2 energy.
Yeah, you don't have to pay 2 energy for Baby Hatch. That's in a deck where like every good green deck taps out almost every turn and just relies on free shit. To have to save 2 energy for a very telegraphed play.
I don't think it's that bad if you're playing as someone super aggro and you just want to stop the turn, right?
And there's no energy restriction on it, I don't think, which is good.
No, there isn't.
You just gotta have the energy, and obviously the unison. So you're probably never playing it before turn 3, but yeah.
No, because you're playing your unison on 1 with green. Remember that. So theoretically, you probably are like your secret rare is live on turn 2, but
yeah, that would just be a waste.
Until I steal your unison, and then I'm like, what if we're in a green mirror and I can steal a 1-drop green unison, then I can actually use. Yeah, exactly. It's fucking sauce.
Fucking gotcha, 2 pants.
I don't know. I'm just kind of pissed that they're not pissed, but Kibito Kaibu, like, come on. Before you did Jinimbu, like that's cool as hell, and then before that is Boo with I think it was Bobbity or Bibbity absorbed the first one, which still was a cool idea because that's how the agents thing was. But Kibito Kai, I'm just like.
I think it's the second. I think the green one is the second best SDR to the set. I think that the yellow one is the best. While it's not overwhelming, it still has a lot of good keyword skills. It's good pressure, and it still has like sort of built-in removal for yellow. So I think anything that supports those things is not a bad card. And 40k crit still not nothing, especially for just 1 energy. It's 1 energy, right?
Yeah, I forgot it was crit. That's a good point.
So the nice thing about the Super 17 is the deflect. It's not like the collector's card where it could get Trunks.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would just go if I tap 5 mono red energy for something, and it got fucking, and I didn't see the God Sealing coming. I'd be like, all right.
yeah. I think the Frieza BR SCR is better than that one in competitive play, and that's still not even good.
Yeah.
So I have to agree with Nick's ranking. So Super 17 first, then the Majin Buu, then you got the collector's card.
So I'm gonna disagree there, and I'm gonna say Boo I think is actually the best. Not that I don't like the Super 17, but I'm just gonna break it down for you in terms of like what I'm using as broadly playable. One thing I really like about the new Boo Secret Rare is it just costs 2 green energy. There's no like leader restriction other than having a unison on board.
But it does need to do Spirit Boost, so there are a few things that
Yeah.
need to line up on that one.
But I can still play it in a multicolor deck as long as I'm charging 2 green.
Yep.
Right? So if I'm playing a green-red deck, that's the best secret rare. Right?
It's a fair point.
So that was my thinking, is that it's arguably the most splashable. And the other thing is, for the green kind of suffers because green, despite being the worst color, green has the best secret rares in the game. So, like, I mean, other than Baby Hatch, obviously, but like the Boo counter secret rare, that card's busted. The Ape secret rare, that card's busted. It's like instant removal. And for 1 energy. So I think green has a lot of really good, tough competing slots. What I don't like about the yellow and red ones is they're restricted to mono colors only. So if you want to splash Bojack Brigade and you charge a blue yellow, you just turned off your secret rare, right? Or rather, turned your secret rare into an 8 cost. Same thing. I think that that Goku Frieza secret rare would have been an amazing addition to Invoker if it didn't require mono red energy. But I think those restrictions make them so hard to utilize. I will say though, in the decks that can play it, like if I'm playing yellow androids where every card searches a yellow android, obviously the Super 17 is the best card. But I think in terms of artwork and a collective, like I think the most valuable secret rare is Goku Frieza. And I think if you get your hands on one, that's the one. I think for competitive, I think Majin Buu is the best. And then I would probably say 17. Like the Super 17 is fine, but any deck that plays Super 17 is also going to play a Swift Retaliation Cooler, which is arguably better in most circumstances.
I mean, end of the day, I can still see that card being incredibly, like, if you don't have Kai, I can see that being likely the next best
if you don't have
secret rare for Mecha. And really, like, after testing some of it, I don't know if blue-yellow energy is going to be the way to go for set 14 Mecha. I think mono-yellow might be kind of a better way to splash in some good stuff. You can still fit in the Bojack stuff, obviously, but just taking Bean out and trying to find some ways to get bodies on board, and I think that's a great body to put on board.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're bad. I think I think our secret rares fluctuated a lot. And I will say this about this set secret rares is that they're all on a pretty level playing field. Like, there's not really one obviously I'd be most happy with the collector secret rare if I pulled it. But I wouldn't necessarily be more like if I pulled Gohank's last set, I'd be like, damn, I got the one that's only playable in mono red, like, and I have to get rid of the only good thing red has, which is unisons, in order to play the secret rare. So like, I definitely don't think there's an as bummer secret rare this set, which is important. So
yeah. I agree with that.
Most disappointing archetype, really quick, then we'll wrap it up. Let's start with Jay. He didn't lead us off yet. This way he can't copy somebody else's submission here.
Our archetype in set 14?
Yeah, what one are you most disappointed in? Like you saw the leader, you were hyped up, and then they showed you the cards, or the ban list came out, and you were like, eh.
I haven't really gone into the archetypes of set 14, but I'd say
3 weeks away, man. 2 weeks.
Yeah, jeez.
Get into it.
Yeah. It'd be the Trunks
Kid
Archetype.
Trunks.
Yeah.
I was hoping it would be a Tapion archetype, so that's. I was disappointed when the leader was Trunks and not Tapion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it could have been better with Tapion than Trunks. Didn't
Mhm.
think about it that way. But yeah, that's kind of disappointing. But let's see if there's some blue players out there who could prove me wrong.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. I agree with you that there's nothing that Trunks deck does that's better than any other existing blue decks currently. So let's go reverse order here. Nick, what's your most disappointing archetype?
Basically, because of the ban list, I think the Super Saiyan 4 Goku it went from like maybe tier 2 to just bad.
Just caught straight bullets, just a bullet sponge. Like a Tommy gun shot Mecha Frieza into pieces and just random bullets hit. It hit Yellow Baby. It hit I agree. If it had access to Bergamos and an unnerfed Selzeno, I think that deck would be very playable.
Yeah, it still wouldn't have been tier 1. It would have been somewhere between 1.5 and 2. So it still would have been a half decent deck that you can absolutely play and expect to get some W's with. But now, that's a fun deck at best, which is kind of sad.
It went from being like, this could top an event, to being like, if this tops an event, I'll be surprised.
Bad event.
Yeah, who played in this? And I'm just kidding. Lucas, what's your most disappointed archetype this set?
I'm gonna have to piggyback and make fun of blue some more, so I'm gonna go Hurdigarn. Like I don't know.
They made it worse than the set 3 leader somehow.
It's like I'm just gonna go to the Colossal Warfare leader if I'm just gonna play this deck anyway. It's still Phantom Demon. I still got my super combos from before.
Yeah.
Maybe just bring back Red Blue right before Storm happened. Let's see how that works in this meta. Completely get throttled.
No, I think that's a good observation. So in terms of most disappointing, I would probably say it's Videl because that's Nick's favorite archetype. Because they had to pre-errata the leader just to nerf it even more before it was released. But no, I think all the decks are on a pretty level playing field in terms of what's good and what's not good. In terms of archetypes I was most hyped for and most disappointed in, probably gonna agree that it's Hurdigarn and Blue Trunks. Sadly, I don't think anything Blue is introducing is better than anything that already exists. Like the Spirit Boost Draw 1 guy's cool, but it's still no King Vegeta. It's still no King Piccolo and New Ruler. You know what I mean? Your top end is still going to be Super 17 Turning the Tide or Fu Shrouded. Like the top end of your deck isn't changing. It's just like the core engine. So I agree. I think blue is the most disappointing. I would follow it up with yellow. I think yellow was also the most disappointing. Like yellow was close behind. I had high hopes for Super 17 as being something different. But the Super 17 leader, it's good. It's a drop 1, draw 2. That's always good on the front. And on the backside, it has a way to give itself more advantage. But my disappointment is we've got 3 yellow Android leaders now, and they're all basically the same. They're all drop 1, draw 2. They're all find some way to boost it 5k for the turn on the awakened side, and all untap 1, draw 1. So to me, I was really disappointed that this. I thought it would have something similar to the old Burst 3 and then gain crit on the back Super 17 leader. Kind of stay more in line with that. Even a Burst 2, draw 1 or something like that. But the drop 1 Android, draw 2, it's too similar to what already exists to me. And then SS4 Goku is one of the decks I'm still excited to play and try, but it's just now it's cute. It's just, oh, look at me. I'm playing around with my deck, and I'm never going to actually threaten anybody with any cards. So
you're not wrong.
I love decks where I can take a 3-4 minute turn and not do anything. Cool. But yeah, that's I'm on board with everybody there. That I think blue and yellow are the most disappointing.
Which is not the worst, because ultimately with how the ban list came out, blue went from kind of here to blue is back to tier 1 level right now. It's very good. which is, it makes sense. I sold a bunch of my red stuff the set before. Red became good. I sold a bunch of my blue stuff. Now blue's good. I'm just crushing it.
Yeah, I just gotta get you to sell black this set, Nick. That's the.
Fuck. I'm just holding on to black with dear life now.
Oh yeah, the random Gogeta cards. Those things. I wish there was like a new Gogeta leader because I think the new Gogeta cards are awesome. Like the Zeno Gogeta, I think that stuff's gonna be like that's gonna bring Hachiak back. That's gonna bring Kidku back. There's gonna be a lot of cool new decks you can play. So unfortunately, I think this set's like a support set where each color is getting 3 to 10 new playable cards that are good, and that's including super combos. But at the end of the day, I think it is like a support set that's just going to boost the power of existing decks. Also, everyone's sleeping on those new super combos. Get them in foil. That's my thing to you. I think those new super combos, if we get better unisons down the line with Spirit Boost skills, I think those things are going to be hot commodities.
Well, I mean, that was the same thing with the Jaudat super combos. Like, that was the first thing I did, is I made sure I had multiple play sets of the foils and all of those. Is like, even if I didn't play the color, I was like, how this really can never be bad. Maybe it's not meta relevant for certain metas, but end of the day, like, that's extra deck filtering. It's huge.
I was convinced they'd be banned because they're so good and so splashable. Like almost every deck wants to run those. But I think the only way to balance them is to bring back multicolor. Which, like, granted, we're seeing some new multicolor cards, which is cool. I'm really excited to re-sleeve my U6 hit deck because that was my favorite deck for a while, the yellow hit. That thing was super fun, so I'm really excited that he's getting support randomly. 4 sets, or he was set 7, so like 7 sets later, he gets one random card that makes him a little bit more playable.
There you go, that's the real spice.
Exactly, the sauce, man. It's being like, haha, drop a card, play this hit for free, evolve for 1 less, flip your leader back. And the thing is, you can't even flip Dark Broly and Nut on him anymore. This is Awaken Sides. He can only combo once.
They're both the same now. It's one and the same now.
Exactly. All right, guys. I think that's enough talk with us for today. So I hope everybody watching had a good time. I had a good time. I know these guys don't usually have a good time when they have to deal with me.
I didn't have a good time. I wasn't prepped for this.
Did we ever prepare?
Born ready. Just born ready. That's it. Lucas is like, I'm so tired of doing these.
No, I just got out of the shower and I'm still like, just
Half-baked?
like that feeling from the shower, when you just put it super hot because you're still tilted because you got into a baby match for 45 fucking minutes, and I'm just there.
I got bad news.
The funny part about this is that Lucas used to play baby.
And I fucking hated it. Like, I played it horribly because I didn't know any of those floodgates were actually floodgates. I thought you did it once and that was it because it didn't say each time. So I'm like, these are But I get it. I'm playing it for 1 less and it's 25 on my turn. Like, this deck's not busted or anything or actually stalls people out. And then when I actually find out it's good, I play it like 2 or 3 times and I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
It's just funny that that's going to be like the most dominant blue deck.
Yeah, I know.
Because it didn't get touched at all. Like,
Nope.
they should have limited Revenge Big Bang or banned Revenge Big Bang. Because to me, that's what enables the deck to extend over long periods of time. Like, having 8 Dimension Magics where 4 of them are actually better than regular Dimension Magic is just shit that never should have been printed.
Where 4 of them replace
always
himself.
wanted banned.
Like, oh, it's locked to baby leader. Oh god, yeah, it's locked to leader that plays it for 1. And like, what do you mean? I don't know.
Nothing like a +2 negate.
Yeah.
Yep, negate, untap 1, draw 1, haha. And then you're playing and you're like, thank God he can only do that 3 more times. And he has them because he sees every card in his deck by turn 4. So
top 3, intersecting
cute and
fates
fun.
4 times.
I will say though, playing I'm trying out other blue decks right now, and playing blue decks that can't search the secret rare it feels really bad Every time I look at top 5 or look at top 3 and I can't grab the secret rare, I'm like, man, why am I not just playing baby?
I've never seen someone tilt so hard playing Android 21. Or sorry, Android 16.
Oh yeah, literally, you know the 5-drop 18 that searches top 5? I kid you not, 3 games in a row, I saw baby hatch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
when we played a bunch, every single time for like 2 games in a row, every single search you did, you found hatch, and you're just like, I'm just gonna quit, Nick. I'm just gonna quit.
Yeah, I was ready to scoop. Yeah, that's why I didn't play Android 21 this week. That's why I played SL Striker, or Android 16. See, now you got me saying.
I messed you up. Yeah, pass on the dum-dum. You're welcome.
In my head, not in a good way.
Yeah, but, good luck at work tomorrow.
Yeah. Speaking of, all right, I'm gonna head out, guys. Have a good night. Take care, everybody.